Coastal gardeners have long enjoyed an unfair advantage that most inland gardeners don't even realize exists. Ocean spray carries microscopic droplets of seawater that settle on coastal soils, delivering a complete spectrum of trace minerals that plants need in tiny but critical amounts. Seaweed washes ashore and gets incorporated into gardens, providing not just nitrogen and potassium, but also iodine, boron, manganese, zinc, iron, copper, molybdenum, and dozens of other elements that occur naturally in seawater. These trace minerals act as cofactors in enzymatic processes within plants, enabling everything from chlorophyll production to disease resistance to flavor compound development in fruits and vegetables. When these elements are missing or deficient, plants survive but never truly thrive. They're like engines running on 5 cylinders instead of 6. The challenge for inland gardeners is that continental soils have been leached of many trace minerals over geological time, as rainwater carries soluble elements toward the ocean. Agricultural soils are particularly depleted because decades of intensive cultivation have extracted minerals faster than natural weathering can replace them. Conventional fertilizers replace nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but ignore the trace element spectrum, creating a hidden hunger in our plants that manifests as increased pest susceptibility, reduced flavor, lower nutrient density in harvests, and mysterious growth problems that we can't quite diagnose. The good news is that you don't need to live near the coast or purchase expensive ocean-derived products to restore these vital minerals to your inland garden. Nature has provided several ingenious pathways to capture and concentrate these elements right in your own backyard. Rock dust. Ancient oceans beneath your feet. One of the most powerful and overlooked sources of ocean minerals for inland gardeners is rock dust, also called rock flour or glacial gravel. This might seem counterintuitive since rocks appear inert and lifeless, but remember that many rocks formed in ancient oceans or contain minerals that once dissolved in seawater. Basalt rock dust is particularly valuable because basalt is volcanic rock that contains an exceptionally broad spectrum of minerals including iron, magnesium, calcium, and numerous trace elements. As rock dust weathers in your soil through the action of water plant root exudates and microbial acids, these minerals slowly release into plant-available forms over months and years, providing sustained nutrition that won't leach away with the first heavy rain. Sourcing rock dust is easier than most gardeners realize. Many landscaping supply companies sell crushed rock, decomposed granite, or rock fines as pathway materials or decorative mulches at very low prices because they're considered waste products from quarrying operations. So, when you're looking for rock dust, try to find basalt granite or volcanic rock that's been crushed down to a fine powder or sand-like consistency. You know, the finer the grind, the faster those minerals become available to your plants, although even the coarser rock dust will provide long-term benefits. For application, spread about 5 to 10 pounds per 100 square feet, just broadcasting it over your beds and working it lightly into the top few inches of soil. The first application might seem like a lot of material, but rock dust actually lasts for years, slowly releasing minerals as it weathers over time. This isn't a quick-fix fertilizer, it's really a fundamental soil remineralization strategy that addresses deficiencies right at their source. The way rock dust delivers minerals is, honestly, pretty fascinating, and it's worth understanding, because it connects you to some deep geological and biological processes. Certain soil bacteria and fungi, especially mycorrhizal fungi, will actually colonize those rock dust particles and excrete organic acids that dissolve the rock's mineral content. These microorganisms then transport dissolved minerals directly to plant roots through their hyphal networks in exchange for carbon compounds the plants produce through photosynthesis. Wood ash. The inland gardener's ocean spray. If you heat with wood, burn yard waste, or have access to fireplace ash, you're sitting on another powerful source of ocean-equivalent minerals that's completely free and honestly, often treated as waste. Wood ash is essentially concentrated minerals because when wood burns, the carbon and hydrogen combust away as gases, leaving behind all the mineral elements the tree extracted from soil during its lifetime. A mature tree's root system can extend 2 to 3 times wider than its canopy and penetrate 10 to 20 feet deep, mining minerals from a vast volume of soil and subsoil that your vegetable garden roots will never reach. When you burn that wood and spread the resulting ash, you're redistributing those deep soil minerals across your garden beds in a highly concentrated, immediately available form. Wood ash is particularly rich in potassium, calcium, and magnesium, the same major minerals abundant in seawater, along with phosphorus and a complete trace element spectrum that reflects whatever minerals were present in the soil where the tree grew. The potassium in wood ash exists primarily as potassium carbonate, which is water-soluble and immediately available to plants, making wood ash an excellent quick-release potassium source comparable to kelp meal or other ocean-derived amendments. The calcium and magnesium help balance soil pH and improve soil structure by promoting aggregation. Application rates matter significantly with wood ash because it's highly alkaline with a pH between 9 and 13, so it can raise soil pH rapidly if over-applied. For most garden soils, 5 to 10 pounds of wood ash per 100 square feet annually is appropriate, though acid-loving plants like blueberries should receive little to no wood ash. Eggshells and bones, calcium from creatures not the coast. The calcium carbonate that forms seashells and coral reefs is one of the ocean's most important mineral contributions to coastal soils, but inland gardeners can access chemically identical calcium through eggshells and bones. Every dozen eggs produces shells containing about 5 grams of pure calcium carbonate, the exact same compound found in oyster shells, just concentrated by chickens instead of mollusks. So, preparing eggshells for garden use actually requires processing them to increase their surface area and, help them break down faster in the soil. First, rinse the shells to remove any leftover egg white and then dry them completely, either by air drying for several days or baking at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. Once they're dried, go ahead and crush them into small pieces or, if you prefer, grind them into a powder using a blender food processor or even a mortar and pestle. Bones from kitchen meat scraps offer not just calcium, but also phosphorus in forms that are remarkably stable and long-lasting in soil. Historical gardeners understood this, creating bone meal by crushing and grinding bones into powder, which became one of the most valued organic fertilizers before synthetic alternatives became available. Epsom salt and azomite, bridging specific mineral gaps. While the amendments discussed so far provide broad-spectrum mineralization, sometimes inland gardens show signs of specific trace mineral deficiencies that require targeted supplementation. Magnesium deficiency is surprisingly common in inland soils, manifesting as intervenal chlorosis where leaves turn yellow between the veins while veins remain green. The cumulative effect of implementing these DIY ocean mineral alternatives becomes apparent within a single growing season, though the most dramatic improvements often appear in the second and third years as minerals build up in soil and microbial populations adapt to work with these new resources. Early signs include deeper green foliage color, thicker stem diameter, and noticeably more vigorous growth rates compared to previous years. Subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more explorations into the hidden factors that separate merely adequate gardens from extraordinary ones, and share this video with inland gardeners ready to unlock the ocean's secrets without living anywhere near the coast.